What is going on, guys? This is your boy XQ420. Welcome back. Another episode of Showtime with the Q. As always, I've got the powerful Corey Hughes with me. Corey, how you doing?
I'm feeling quite powerful today. Quite powerful.
Almost too powerful, okay? He had to bring his mic way down. He's feeling so powerful. Now, if it's your first time to this channel, hit the subscribe button. You will not regret it. Listen to us on podcast platforms right now, and you haven't followed yet, hit the follow button. We appreciate everybody who's checking us out so far. Today, Corey, new trailer, Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Okay, Fury of the Gods. Now, this is coming out, if I'm correct, I think at the beginning of next year. Is this the...
I believe that is correct.
Yeah, I don't know if it's got... sometimes... well, actually... It looks like it might be, coming out in theaters this Christmas. So it actually might be,
before the new year.
Well, that's what it said up here. I think they moved it back. They got it expected March 17th of 2023. But I guess they were originally thinking about putting it out at Christmas time. Of course, you know how this goes whenever they're pre-production, post-production. Mm-hmm. Some things don't go right. It was supposed to be this date. Now they got to move it back. We've seen that right here recently with Blade. With the catastrophe that was as far as the script goes, director leaving. It was supposed to come out next year. Now it's pushed out to 2024. So stuff like this happens all the time. It's not anything new there. And what I want to do before we get to the trailer is talk about the just a touch about the previous movie and how do you think it will segue into this particular movie. Now, the Shazam character is a polar opposite of Black Adam. It ain't even in the same realm. Okay,
right,
at all. So he didn't have so much, which is kind of ironic that it's Fury of the Gods here, and it's just like. Man, Shazam ain't got no fury. I ain't seen a lot of fury out of him. He's just kind of like this kid is like, oh man, I got powers. This is cool. That was kind of like his whole concept throughout the entire first movie. Now, of course, we know that at the end of the first movie, he was able to imbue powers into his, I believe it's either 4 or 5 friends. They all held the staff, and then they said Shazam. And somehow they got powers as well at the same time. Of course, that staff's been broken. But from what we've seen in Black Adam, if you held their hand and then they said Shazam, they would take the power directly from him. So I'm not sure how that happened, Corey. All right. I think we're still trying to wrap our head around that. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
Remember the key phrase: suspension of disbelief.
Right. And the you feel like the Wizards would make it where you couldn't just transfer these powers so easily. That's all I'm saying. I'm like Wizards, dog. Oh, we're picking the true champion.
Yeah.
Well, the true champion, you just go hold hands with somebody and just give them the powers, right?
Yeah, the powers should not be available for resale.
It's just like, you know what? I'm kind of tired of this. Hey, man, you want these powers? Hey, come on over here, man. Just hold my hand. Say Shazam, but it's just like, is that it? I'm just like, that simple. Y'all couldn't think that there won't no crazy way. Look, and I think I harken back to almost like a vampire movie. I hate the vampire movies where you get bit and you automatically turn. No, I want there to be some intentionality. You got to get bit. You got to get buried. Then when you're reborn, you got to taste your first blood in order to return. Right. You know what I'm saying? I want there to be some, there's something that's involved in this, okay? You can't just get bit and it's just like, oh, yeah, it's just over. You know what I'm saying? So, these wizards, they're all powerful, but obviously they're not all knowing, okay? Because they didn't know how to keep folks from just getting the powers from somebody else, okay? I mean, so, because all a bad guy would have to do is, if he had enough goons or enough villains to help him out, is he could capture somebody's family and hold them hostage and force the whoever's got powers to transfer them to them. I mean, it just seems like it'd just be that simple.
Mm-hmm.
Just a ransom.
Yeah. There should definitely be more to it. I hope that they have a better explanation in the film, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. So without further ado, we are going to jump into the trailer of Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods. All right. you got to kind of say it like that. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to let this thing kick off right now.
I'm an idiot.
It's showtime!
I don't deserve these powers, if I'm being honest. Like, what am I even contributing? Ow! There's already a superhero with a red suit with a lightning bolt on it. Aquaman is literally huge and he's so manly. And Batman is so cool. And I'm just me. I feel like a fraud. It doesn't matter. Anyway, a wizard gave me superpowers. Well, then everybody got superpowers. Where's everyone going?
To fight crime?
Okay.
Now everyone's kind of like doing their own thing, and I'm the only one trying to keep it together.
You understand I'm a pediatrician, right?
Come on!
Now let's get down to business.
Listen to me, Billy. The fate of your world depends on it.
Around, what is this?
The daughters of Atlas are coming for you.
Let's get down to business.
Children stole the power of all the gods. This is very personal, Billy.
Look, I might not have as much experience as you, because I'm not super old like you. But I've seen all of the Fast and the Furious movies, lady. It's all about family! Family! Guys, that was a signal!
Introducing the star of our show. His name is Shazam! Now let's get down to business.
Your world will not survive this.
I don't know how we fight powers like this.
You think I know how to fix this dude, but I really don't.
Billy, everyone can be worthy. Let's give it a chance. Now go fight for your family. Go fight for the world.
Hurry, step right up. You wouldn't want to be anywhere else right now.
I just threw a truck at a dragon. I love my life.
Let's get down to business. Hey, let's get down to business. Can I get a witness?
All right. So, completely ridiculous.
Completely ridiculous.
Fury of the Gods.
So what I'm anticipating is what we're going to get about an hour's worth of total, ridiculous, silly fun. There's going to be a couple moments that hint towards a serious showdown at the end. In the last 30 minutes, they're going to come together as a team. They're going to drop all the shenanigans, and they are going to defeat the bad guy, the dragon. So that's my anticipation of what's going to happen. So everybody can just send me $10 instead of having to go to the movies to see it.
Yeah, and I like how the old Negro wizard. I mean, I thought he got turned to dust, man. I thought maybe I need to go back and relook at the first Shazam, but I thought after he gave him the powers the last time that he kind of just disappeared. Of course, that ragged staff is back, and I thought he broke that staff in half, and destroyed it. But of course, it's in a museum where anybody can go touch it. Why not? You know what I'm saying? The staff that has powers. We don't have it hidden anywhere. We're going to put it in a museum, not even encased in glass, where anybody can just come grab it. You know what I'm saying? And, of course, we got the Sisters of Atlas, which what's that old bitch's name? Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu. That was the other one, Lucy Liu. So we've got a couple of older ladies. Okay, of course, Helen Mirren, who's playing Hespera, and Lucy Liu is playing Calypso. With Hespera being a touch older, they seem that they're going to be the main villains of this particular film. Um, Corey. I think that this is going to be in the same realm as the first movie. It's more of a fun experience, quote unquote. What do you think? Quote unquote fun experience. Yeah.
This is going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
But do not, I will say this, do not search for any type of depth to this film. Don't look for hidden meanings. Don't look for overly connective plot lines. And I'm anticipating we'll get a post-credits scene with some crossover heroes. So,
yeah, but eventually Shazam's got to see Black Adam, right? I mean, eventually,
maybe.
I mean, it's got to, it's got to happen. Now, I think it's maybe a touch cheesy that all his friends have powers too. It just, I don't know, it doesn't sit very well, and they all kind of got the similar powers.
I'm just going to roll with it. I'm just going to be like, I'm just going to see what happens. I'm just going to roll with it. Is it ridiculous? It's beyond ridiculous. It's borderlines on stupid, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. DC, to me, has a better proven track record of creating quality films than Marvel any day of the week. I believe this is going to be most certainly better than any of the recent Marvel films. And at the end of the day, I think it's going to be an overall quality production.
Okay. All right.
So last night, after we recorded last night, I went and watched the 4-hour color version of Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, that movie nailed it. It told the story the way a story should be told. If it had characters that needed backstory introductions, they gave it without any restrictions on time. There were like 4 or 5 different aspects of the film that all came together, and it was quality. But again, we can't have every movie be 4 freaking hours long, you know. So,
yeah.
but the point I'm making is that as a whole, the DC productions are way better than Marvel, in my opinion. And so that's where we shouldn't be. We're not going to be disappointed by this film, is what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. It's fair enough. I can't say that I hated the first film. I understood what I was watching kind of early into it. Now, when he was in the trying to get counseling for his issues, my man had an Annabelle doll sitting in there. I'm like, what's that about? I'm like, dude, it's like, man, you know, I listen to kids, man. What are you doing here? And he points over, he's got an Annabelle doll. I'm like, man, what are you doing with an Annabelle doll in your office, man? I
didn't catch it.
Yeah, but I seen that immediately. I was like, okay, Annabelle doll, I got you. So there's going to be, from what we've seen so far, there's going to be plenty of funny moments. That's going to be the majority of this film. Is going to be the humor because, of course, as we know, he is still technically a child, even though when he says Shazam, he becomes an adult with powers. But still, technically, in his mind, he's a child. So, you have to kind of keep that. You have to kind of keep that aspect in your mind as far as what you're watching, and sometimes that can throw you off because you see him as an adult, but you got to understand that he's still thinking as a child. So, you kind of have to keep that aspect of the movie in your mind. So, okay, I understand Shazam, he's got powers, but he's not adult Shazam yet. Okay. And so he hasn't went through the bodily transformation as far as his actual mortal body. So that's one of the things you got to keep in mind. Especially if nobody's seen the first one, I say check it out if you're planning on watching this, most definitely. that way it'll give you a good aspect of what you're going to be looking at with this particular film. The undertones are going to ring true through both of them, I believe. I think we're going to have a similar style movie. So it'll be interesting to see where these the Sisters of Atlas, where they came from. They seem kind of pissed that all these kids have got the powers of the gods. Did they have the powers of the gods previously? Are these previous people who were part of the wizard class that were delving out powers? The Council of Wizards, potentially, because in the Black Adam movie, kind of like all of them are shrouded, so you really can't see who they are at that point in time. So, are these descendants of the potential Council of Wizards? And the one thing I noticed in this is the blue coloring. So, of course, from the scepter itself, the blue light. And then from the dragon, the blue, which kind of brought me back to the Eternium from the Black Adam movie. And so I'm wondering if they're going to have some type of correlation with that as far as something that would be able to hurt these particular characters. What do you think there? Do you think might get maybe an explanation of that potentially? Might be a correlation.
They better give us something. What they need to do is give us a better explanation as to how the characters and events of Black Adam are connected to Shazam. I mean, duh, it's an obvious connection. These both got the lightning bolt. They both say Shazam. They both got the wizards. But we still are sitting here not understanding what that connection is, or how these wizards could just give out powers from different power sources. It needs a little bit of explanation. I hope we get some of it. We'll probably get 10% of what we need.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping as well, and maybe that will tidy things up in the actual Black Adam film for us, as far as understanding the powers and how they're delved out. If I had to guess, I think we might get more out of the actual villains of this movie, as far as explaining potentially on how these particular powers are delved out, seeing how they seem privy to what's going on as far as the wizard class. What do you think about that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that question one more time?
Yeah. So I think as far as explanation, I don't think that we get it from the quote unquote final wizard that's left, the black dude. But we'll get it more from the actual villains of the film, Lucy Liu and the other lady, as far as the delving out of the powers and how they are able to derive the power sources from these particular gods, which, if I'm correct, we haven't actually seen in the DCEU up to this point.
Correct. A lot of questions that need to be answered, and I hope that we do get some of it. I really don't have any idea on the role of these other characters and what they're going to play and how involved they're going to be. But again, I think the film is going to be really just fun and lighthearted for 90% of it, and then it's going to be serious and come together for the climax, and that's how it's going to roll.
Yeah, kind of like the first film. That was the exact formula for that first film,
and I think it's a formula that works. I really liked in the first one the development of the bad guy, especially when he cleaned out that office. That was killer. So as long as they just stick to the script and follow the formula, it'll be fine. Just don't overthink it. Like, that's the biggest problem with a lot of these films, is that the plots are so overthought and ridiculous and unnecessary. So.
Okay, and of course, I think we're going to have Easter eggs, small tidbits from other films. I don't know how much we're going to see of these characters. We see the Flash, we see Ben Affleck Batman, we see Aquaman. So they might have tidbits of that. They might even have did some type of post-credit scene, maybe with the Flash, seeing how I believe that's going to be the next movie in the DCEU. Ezra Miller.
Is maybe that the next film? We're still maybe on that one, right?
Yeah. I'm unsure, because they said they're recasting for Flash too, so I'm still under the assumption that they've already filmed the original Flash and they're going to go ahead and proceed forward with it. even though Ezra
I
Miller's
think that
crazy.
should be fine because, like, his character in Justice League was solid. He did it well.
Mm-hmm.
He pulled it off, even though he's a weird fucking tranny weirdo.
Yeah, them. Yeah.
He's a they them. Yeah. So, but no, he did a great job. Like, he was serious when he had to be serious. He was funny when he had to be funny. He pulled it off great. I have no complaints about his performance in the movie, and so I'm not going to let his weird pedophilia shit interfere with my enjoyment of his movie.
I guess that's fair enough. So we've got to have at least one cameo in this film that leads up into their next one. Seeing how they seem to be now saying, okay, we're going all in on creating this universe and probably moving up into the big bad of this universe, which would be Darkseid, which is
Darkseid.
Yeah,
He seems like a badass.
Yeah, I mean that's the dude. You know what I'm saying? That's the dude. So I feel like there's going to be some cameo. There hadn't been any rumblings yet of what cameo it is. We're probably almost certain that it's not Superman. Okay, about 100% certain it's not Superman. So I wouldn't think it would be Aquaman. The Flash makes sense to me as far as a cameo in this particular movie. Coming up, I can't think of any. It wouldn't be Batman. So
maybe Green Arrow.
Are they gonna put Green Arrow in this universe?
Well, they got that. They have Arrow in that TV show. I watched that show. Mm-hmm. God, just like the Flash, I watched it for like 5 years, and then the storylines just got so dumb. It was like I can't do this anymore. It was they have a chance to redeem themselves in some of these lost storylines with the TV shows.
Maybe Green Lantern. Maybe Green Lantern. I mean, I don't know.
You know,
they haven't tried Green Lantern since they destroyed it. Yeah.
And I didn't even think that movie was as horrible as everyone else did. I mean, it was bad, but it wasn't like, Jesus, it wasn't She-Hulk bad.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Say it was bad, but it wasn't She-Hulk bad. Hey, I think that's what we can say to everything. We can say that to everything bad.
That's the fucking rock bottom baseline. Man, like.
It's like, man, that movie was terrible. Well, was it She-Hulk terrible? I said, oh, hell no. I said, okay, so it's watchable. So you're telling me it's watchable, all right? If it's not She-Hulk terrible, that means it's watchable. So
right.
That's what we got to go off of. So, yeah, that's Shazam.
But, you know, DC,
guys, yeah.
DC has some other, like, more so than Marvel, DC has some fucking, what is that word they use? Not franchise. There's another word they use for it. Not product. But they have so many amazing characters. Like, I love the goddamn Swamp Thing. And that's DC. There was a 10-episode, one-season Swamp Thing that came out about 2-3 years ago. It was phenomenal. I mean, like, phenomenal. Like, I might go back and rewatch the whole thing. It was that good. There's so much they could do with so many other characters. Batwing, Nightwing. They've got
DC's got more grit. They got more grit, way more characters. Yeah,
yeah. Like in Justice League, people getting capped like crazy. Like,
yeah. I think DC needs to kind of pull the gloves off and just move it right over and more into their more into the violent, grittier side of it, because they
do all the things that Marvel
isn't
isn't doing, basically.
Yeah. So appeal to the masses in that particular way, because you got to think some of the best DC characters usually are very traumatized and are very gritty, and for the most part take people out. Even though Batman technically doesn't kill people, I mean, his whole storyline is like True Grit. I mean, like, he's in the streets at night. So I think DC probably has better overall villains so far as opposed to Marvel. And I think what happens in a lot of these movies is that they get a villain that's good, and then they just go ahead and kill them off in one movie. I think that's an issue, as opposed to building the villains up as well as the main characters, and kind of having that aspect of their journey against each other together. So I think that's it's kind of harken back to the most recent Thor: Love and Thunder. Everybody was hyped for Gore the God Butcher, and we didn't see him butcher no gods. I mean, he stabbed the one dude in the neck at the beginning, and then that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And we ain't see him kill nobody else. It's just like,
Yep.
I thought this was Gore the God Butcher. I mean, I ain't see him get no tussle with any other gods or nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
one thing
it's a missed opportunity.
One thing I'm really curious about is I really don't like Ben Affleck as Batman, but he played a very mature Batman, like who knew what time it was, you know, has money, knows how to get things done. Mm-hmm. Batman with Twilight, bro.
Robert Pattinson. Yeah,
he's a very immature Batman.
Right.
He is not at the level where he's going to be organizing teams of super fucking heroes at all. And the vibe of the Batman movie was dark and isolated. It did not feel like it needed or should be involved in any type of crossovers.
Right.
Now, back to Ben Affleck's Batman, which is seemingly running parallel to the Robert Pattinson Batman, right? So I don't know how I feel about there being these two Batmen. And I don't know how I feel about which one should be. It definitely shouldn't be Robert Pattinson, but like, I don't know how I feel about them moving forward with Ben Affleck because he just is such a tool. He's a tool. There's no other way to put it. So it's like you have these two separate storylines that are running parallel. And if they keep the other Batman completely isolated and separate and just in that Batman space, that would be completely perfect. And then allow for this other Ben Affleck Batman, whoever they replace him with, which I doubt they will, because he's one of these. He's a Hollywood CIA shill, so he's not going anywhere. Yeah. But yeah, it's a weird kind of dichotomy almost going on with Batman right now. So I don't know. I don't really know what the plans for DC's universe are moving forward. But
because there's got to be Batman in it. There's got to be Batman in it, and of course, with that as well, man, they've got so many projects going on. Because then they've got, if I'm correct, they got Joker 2 that's going to be coming out, which is totally different. That ain't even in the same realm with the Batman that we just seen the recent movie of. So they're just like, they're in so many alternate universes at one time. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how they incorporate Batman fully into this particular universe as well. And I'm assuming there's going to have to be some type of team up with Shazam at some point in time, with Superman, Black Adam. So we'll see how that stuff
Didn't he have a cameo in another film? Didn't Shazam pop up in a scene for another one of these movies? For some reason, in the back of my head, I'm remembering that he did, but I can't put my finger on it, so I might be wrong.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think I've pretty much seen all of them. I don't remember right offhand, but I don't think so. Okay. But obviously there's going to have to be some type of crossover with him and Black Adam at some point in time. It's just got to be. Okay. Yeah. Which that's going to be stark opposites right there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods. If y'all guys have any theories or anything, leave them in the comment section below. If you haven't checked out the first film, check that out. If you're going to check out Shazam 2, they give you a little background on what we got going on here, why there's so many people that's got the same powers, pretty much, for the most part. So, yeah, that wraps up this episode of Showtime with the Cube. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Make sure like, share, subscribe, as always. From your boy, Cube420. Co-host Corey Hughes. We'll catch y'all on the next Showtime with the Cube. Peace out.